All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Again, I'm not writing lead-ins. I don't. I might not go back to doing that. That was a one-time thing. I was hyped up for the
Yeah,
playoffs. The playoffs
couple
was on
times. You
fire.
did it a
Like,
couple times.
yeah, it's true. I guess I can
We might
let me
we bring
freestyle.
it.
It's been so long since we did a podcast. Now, there's too many things that have happened.
Too many. How about
There'd be a long ass lead. I'd have to write like a
how
fucking
about
a 16
is
bar
real
verse.
basketball back?
Yeah, like actual. It depends on
Like,
who you talk to, though, because that could be
yeah.
tricky. Because the '90s, the old heads would also say yes because it's a lot of ISO with Shea, and so depending on how you look at it, yes.
Well, I mean, real basketball, but it's a lot of ISO with Shea, but ISO with Shea as in he's hitting mid ranges. It's not like
Yes.
ISO step back three. It's
Looking
old
for
school kind of basketball, the best available shot. If you ask what's
It's
saying.
almost
So,
like it's almost like we've gotten the best and the worst of everything. Because as much as
yeah.
the foul baiting and all that shit is also like the worst it's maybe ever been with just
But
fouls. Oh my god. Oh, but hold on. Let's finish the intro. I'm here with my guy, the man, the myth, the legend himself. My god damn. Okay. All right. Let's get back into it. I just want to make sure we hit that.
Oh! Before we go back into our basketball takes,
Yeah.
Shout out to the Texas softball team. 1-0 up on Texas Tech. One more game, baby. One more, and we get the championship.
Where does
I rep all Texas.
What
Texas
sport?
Longhorns.
What sport do you
Let's
stop
go.
at? Does it stop at like lacrosse? Like where does the fandom?
Texas, baby. Ain't no. Hey, if it's on TV and it say Texas and it say something, I'm tuning in. I'm Texas all the way.
Now
If the swim team's playing or whatever they do a meet, I watch that to see how they swim team doing. Get some insight on Texas swimmers. I don't think they really. I don't know. I feel like all swimmers in D1 are good because I can't swim. So
what about curling? Texas, the Longhorns Collegiate Curling League. What about these?
No. Listen, okay, so
there's a line.
All things. There is a line. Like I'm not repping Texas curling. I shout out to the Texas. Hook them horns for the curling team, but.
Shout out to all the major sports, all the track and field, baseball,
volleyball,
every version of
softball,
baseball,
soccer,
the major sports.
Hey, shout out golf. I fuck with the golf.
I would
team,
say
man.
the Olympic style sports, but also curling is an Olympic sport.
Curling is an Olympic.
So I can't even say that. There's no way to make a caveat.
And say it too. So I was gonna be like, no, because curling is definitely in that shit.
Which is weird.
But
Canada just wins every year because they have nothing better to do. But
they got so much space to curl in Canada. I don't know.
Just go outside. Everywhere outside is a frozen lake, so you can just go outside and throw a bowling ball down the fucking ice and sweep in front of it. That seems like a fun sport, right? Let's sweep in front of this bowling ball.
Let's dry the ice in front of the ball, and then let's see where it stops.
Roll it. Yeah. Oh man! All right, let's get back to basketball. The major sport that's going on right now. I guess baseball is going on too, but
basketball NBA Finals is probably more major than regular season baseball.
Yeah, the Royals called up that guy. People are pretty excited.
Yeah.
Is that meaningful? I don't know.
I mean, top 10 MLB prospect, number one prospect for the Royals. He got some comparisons to Bobby Witt. He hit like 7 bombs in a row in a AAA, and everybody was like, "Yo, we probably need to call this dude up." Like,
okay.
The one thing that's we've been lacking is hitting, like, because our pitchers are dueling. Like, we don't give up. I think our team ERA is like 3 point something, right? It probably went up a little bit, but if it was 3 point something, which is pretty decent. So I mean, all we need to do is score 3. So, but we're not hitting well. So we started off hot hitting, kind of fell off a little bit.
Isn't Kaufman like gigantic, basically?
Yeah, it's one of the hardest fields to hit a home run on. Okay. Yeah, it's really a defensive park. It's just like Park. The people who design Park's baseball field is the people that designed Kaufman. So that's why Park's baseball field is one of the hardest baseball fields to hit a home run on in NAIA.
Okay.
And it sits on a hill too, so the wind is always pushing some weird direction.
Oh God. That's so silly though. You would think you would think somebody would have said, "Hey man, like we're building a baseball stadium in a small market. Let's At least have something fun here, not just watch pitching battles. Like, let's do something a little something.
Yeah, I mean and we could say at least in our lifetime, the Royals had some dominant pitchers.
True.
Zach Greinke, Ace, and RP Ace, man, we would have been still probably dogging to this day if we had Ace. We had some good bullpen guys earlier in the years, but I started going down a rabbit hole with pitching. People are gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" So
I mean, I'm one of those people. I'm just good at leading you to talk about baseball. That's about it. I know just slightly enough to make a compelling conversation.
But our division is so fucking stout right now, dude. Like, it's gonna be like last year. It's gonna be a fight to the end to win that division. But I think we sent 3 teams to the playoffs. So look for the Royals to get on the hot streak and make it to the playoffs, probably as a wild card. I think Detroit wins the division.
Nice.
Detroit wins the division. Guardians and Royals sneak in as wild cards.
So what are the odds of keeping that guy on the team long term? Bad, right?
Who
the call? Yeah.
No. We're starting to actually pay our guys. As you see, this. This
year, you're right.
Yeah. This year we even hit the free agency a little bit. Like,
they're trying to.
I want to say it's the Pat Mahomes effect. Like, the Pat Mahomes is like, yo, like, if I'm gonna put my name on this, we're gonna have to start winning some shit. Like, now that he's a minority owner, like, you see anything he touched, I gotta win behind it. Like, we ain't doing none of that bullshit.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because it's like they were notorious for fucking just
letting their people go.
Basically being a farm team for other teams, like,
and a real good one too. Like,
that's crazy.
Our team, our people used to get real good with us and go somewhere else and end up in the fucking world, at least deep in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
And it's like, what the fuck?
I couldn't imagine being a fucking Royals fan growing up, like, caring about baseball and just seeing that. Like, this is somebody who's like not even a casual fan, just somebody like outside of baseball, being like, hey, isn't this what the Royals do? It's like, that's a sad thing to know that I know that. So imagine being like a fan of the team and you just got to sit there and do that. Oh, that's gotta suck so much.
Yeah, it's like kind of being a fan of the Browns currently, right?
A little bit,
or the Bengals, you know, or like, like the Bengals.
I'm trying to think, or like the Panthers.
That's
just like where it's like people leave and then they finally become like Christian McCaffrey left and it was like, oh yeah, look.
Baker
awesome.
left.
Baker left and became
Baker went.
Became
I mean, obviously Baker didn't start there.
Sam
but he
Darnold.
Went to the Panthers. Right. It's just like, even though those 2 players didn't start there, it's just like we went there and was horrible. People wrote us off, and now we went somewhere else and it's like, hey, look,
like, hey, I'm decent.
We're actually not
good.
that bad.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, that's sad. But yeah, basketball. So where we left off, the night that we did the last podcast was Game 6, Thunder's Nuggets. The Nuggets tied it, forced a Game 7. That was a crazy-ass game. And then they got totally blown out Game 7. They got blown out by 30 points in Game 7. Yeah, that's
you said Thunder
Nuggets was the night of the last time we did a podcast.
We didn't do not one podcast during the Thunder Minnesota?
No.
Bro, I was sitting here I'm like, Thunder Nuggets.
That's crazy, right? The day after Knicks ended the series with the Celtics that Friday with the blowout.
That's the last time we did a podcast?
Yes. Yeah, it's been that long. Also, let me look real quick. Because, yeah, it was May 15th was the last published episode of the podcast we did.
Okay.
Hold on,
People probably think we just fell out on our takes. It was like, man, they takes is probably done burnt out. They done used all their good ones back in the day.
That's crazy. The title of that one is Tatum Falls plus the Celtics' future moves, which we talk about how the fuck do they move Porzingis.
Oh, yeah.
The Cavs got sent home, and who's the real MVP? That's the title.
Well, we know who the real MVP is. Like,
yeah, because they got ass whooped. And then...
So I'm not even gonna waste my energy.
So basically,
it
was the end of the Nuggets Thunder, end of Celtics Knicks, and then we just haven't been on since the conference finals.
I think it's because we kind of knew who was going. I think then we.
A little bit.
I think I called the. I don't know what I said. Don't. Don't. I'm gonna say don't quote me, but I feel like I want to quote myself and say I think I picked the Pacers.
I don't know.
In the last one,
I
we
didn't go
gotta go
back
back
and
and look.
look. Yeah.
I'm sure because I said the Pacers in 7. I've been telling everybody I think I said the Pacers in 7, but they ended up winning in 6. So look, or was it 5?
The Pacers won in 6.
Damn, that shit
it was 6.
Yeah, because they won at home.
Yeah.
So
and then they lost the
game 5.
Yeah, when they went back to New York and shit. Yeah. But let's go back real quick before we get to the end of this. Game 1, because we should have done a podcast the day after game 1, which was the
game 1 which game?
Pacers Knicks, which was the 15-point comeback in 4 minutes with Nesmith hitting 6 threes, and then Halliburton doing the drive in, come back out, bounce off the rim 3,
and then the choke, Malkin Reggie,
but it
Miller.
wasn't a 3, so they had to go to overtime because it just tied it instead of 1. Bro, when I tell you, I was laying in bed, right? They down 15 with like 4 minutes left. I'm like, it's safe. Usually, this is a moment where it's safe to go to sleep. Like, you know, so I just lay back. I remember watching. I kind of doze off for a minute. I open my eyes back up. I look. They down like 9 with like 2 minutes left. I was like, man, what just happened? Like, did they just score 7 points in like 2 possessions? How the fuck did they do that? Okay, so cool. I'm laying back down again. I doze off a little bit more. I wake up. It's like a minute left, and they're down 3. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is... I literally... it like scared me when I looked at it. I jumped out of bed and was like, no, what happened? And I maybe it was a little early. Maybe it wasn't a minute left. But I sit up out of bed, and Nesmith hits another 3. And everybody goes crazy, and they're like, Nesmith with another 3, da-da-da. And then they like... I think somebody called a timeout, so they run the 3s back, and they show all the 3s he hit again. And I was like... This is not happening. Like, the Knicks, the Knicks cannot be choking this the exact way they beat the Celtics. They cannot lose a game just like this, or their entire confidence will be totally shot.
But we said this series was going to be a good series to begin with. True. Like, we called it. So this is the series I was waiting on out of both of them. I wasn't too intrigued with Minnesota and OKC. We knew OKC was running through everybody on that side. This was the one because I wanted to see what team kind of would have came out, like the team that plays high minutes for most of their players, or the team that plays literally everybody on their bench probably except one person. But it's kind of weird because this was also the series where Tibbs started using his bench more.
Yeah,
as well,
which is a crazy point in the season to decide. Like, maybe I should play.
It's just like, hey, maybe I should play Dion Wright or Deshaun Wright. What's his name? Like, I don't even know his name because it's like and then he come in hitting 3s and shit, then keeping the game close. And I'm just like, okay. And then Shamit and Campaign start getting a little clock, but if I can remember that game right, somebody
did. By the way, we did pick the Pacers. We both picked the Pacers to win this series. That's crazy because I'm reading it right now. I'm reading the transcript. You said if they met, because I asked you something. I asked you, like, do you think Halliburton can keep this up? And then we went on a fucking rant about the Pacers, and then I went on some rant about how they beat the Pacers every year, like 19 times, the last 17 times in the past 20 years. 9 times in 30 years they've beat them in the playoffs, which is crazy. Which is once every 3 years they beat the fucking Knicks in the playoffs. That's sick. And then you said if they match up, I guess we got to go with, because they're still playing, I'm going to go with the Pacers. And then I said, I'm with you. I think I'm going with you. I think I'm going Pacers. But I just hope I'm not blinded by Halliburton.
No, he played well.
He did. He ended up.
It
worked out.
So fast forwarding to the end, just because we said he played well and you wasn't blinded.
Yeah.
I'm not too mad about Siakam winning the MVP.
Yeah.
But Halliburton did have a good case, but he lost by 1 vote. So that's what it sounds like. As long as it wasn't a landslide, like everybody thought Siakam was the best, I feel like losing by 1 vote, that makes sense.
Once I found that out, and then you look at it and you're like, yeah, like he's leading the team in playoff points, and then Halliburton is kind of doing like facilitating.
Yeah.
If I'm not,
but he was more clutch. Like it wasn't for Halliburton, they probably lose game 1,
for
obviously.
Sure, yeah.
But if it wasn't for Siakam and keeping them in some games as well, So, I mean, they go hand to hand. Like, I think without one, you couldn't have the other. They needed each other in that series.
And Siakam is leading in rebounds, too.
I just don't understand how Miles Turner can't get 5-6 rebounds, man.
His knees don't work together.
I just don't.
He has 2 knees that work separately from each other.
I was like, bro, aren't you like 7 foot? Like, or what? How tall is he? You can't get 6 rebounds?
No, he's averaging 5.5.
Okay, yeah. But okay, yeah. So back
I'm not mad at. I was before I seen the voting. When I seen the voting, it was 1 point, and then you kind of realize like, no, I mean, Siakam had 230. He had almost the 39. Then he had 31, and then he had 20 something the other game.
Yeah.
So it's like, without those 2 30-point performances, they don't win either. So it's like the difference, I guess, to me, which made me okay with it after I sat and thought about it, was like Siakam didn't have the 2-point game.
Right.
In the losses. Like, he didn't have bad games in the loss. Like, Tyrese Halliburton had 1 game where he scored 4 points, whatever the fuck it was. Like, that's, okay. Yeah. Okay. You made it fair to give it to Siakam, because if you average anything, if you score anything else but 2, if you score 15 in that game, his averages look way different for that series. And then all of a sudden, because he was averaging 30 basically. He was averaging 30 and 15 against the Knicks, but you kind of, it's skewed a little bit. But yeah, it's like, I'm fine with that.
And also, I think the Pacers played real basketball. That's why I said at the beginning is real basketball back. They just played real bad. They went deep in their bench. People played their roles. Nobody really played outside their roles.
Yeah.
And
how about even deeper than that? They moved the ball.
Right. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I was going to get to. The ball movement, like.
And not forced ball movement. There's 2 different types of ball movement. It was
in the flow.
Yes, there was a flow going on. It wasn't. We can go to the Knicks too after we praise the Pacers, because I do want to talk about the bad parts of the Knicks. But like, it's not the same. Like, LeBron is a perfect example. LeBron's a great player, but like the passing is not like in a flow. It's like LeBron, or even Luka for that matter now.
Right.
Like, I have the ball. I'm going to swing it. You swing it back. It's not like a lot of like, I'm going to swing it, go set a pick. This guy's going to cut. I'm going to go get a screen, cut. And we're all moving the ball around within like a flow of actions and things going on that's like an offense. No. Like, there's a bunch of players like that. Like Celtics, perfect example. We just going to stand at the top, call a screen. Yeah. I might pass it to somebody, but if I pass it over to Jaylen Brown, he's going to bring the ball up to the top, and he's going to set another screen. So it's like, that's technically his ball movement. If I'm getting a screen, passing it over, that guy gets a screen, passes it to the screener.
But that's like moving the ball to a person, and he's moving it back. Ball movement is when you're moving the ball.
It's with purpose. Like, there's a reason. Like, I'm passing it to the open guy. We're running things to get people open, and I'm passing it to who's open. Versus like we're in like this set play, and there's I'm only passing the ball because the play calls for
that's
it.
The play calls.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like, that's different.
The Celtics run plays, and the Pacers
where they pass the ball,
where they pass the ball, and the Pacers just naturally have
move the ball. Movement. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's like a.
But
hard
that's
thing
what happened when you naturally. No, it's not. That's what happened when when your star player is a natural point guard
who gets off the ball. Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to get guys
I was talking
going.
to somebody at work. I was like, he's a traditional point guard. I said, and
Yep.
and somebody was like, Kyrie. I said, Kyrie's not a
No.
point guard. I said,
Kyrie is a
he's a,
two,
and it
basically.
was like, it was Steph Curry. Steph Curry. No, these
No,
are
it's a two.
glorified,
Steph Curry's barely
glorified.
on the ball. He don't even bring the ball up sometimes.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like Tyrese is literally. I said, do you know any other like point guards who are passed first? I said, I think the Pacers got the top. I think the Pacers got 3 of them.
Perfect example is Chris Paul.
Right, Chris Paul's the last.
For
like,
people
the
that
last one,
don't get it, yeah.
But I'm saying like the Pacers literally have Nembhard, McConnell, and Halliburton.
Yeah.
You got three dudes who can run your offense, and they all are pass first, but I can get a bucket if necessary. But TJ McConnell is literally pass. All I do is drive in just to pass it. So it's just like, so it's like a little squirrel out there. But literally, even they backup point guards are literally point guards that's in the flow of the game. It's not a forced. It's not forced. Their offense is not forced, which is why it's going to be. That's why I'm so excited for this finals, dude. Like,
yeah,
like it's just like it's a very like I'm good, real good defense with a fundamental offensive team.
It's funny because the next part of what we said in the last pod was, we said Nuggets Pacers would be fun. Wolves Pacers would be fucking weird. And now we're getting, and we said, so a fun matchup, the most fun matchup would be Thunder Pacers. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I can't tell who said this part though, but but yeah. So it's like we're actually, and see, the funniest part to me also is like the Thunder are almost the opposite at this point. They also have good ball movement when it's like a possession for that. But most possessions kind of come down to like, hey, move out the way. Let SGA cook. If he's not cooking with about 10 to 12 seconds left in the shot clock, he'll give it up, and now it's time to actually like move the ball around, do something. Yeah. But like it's so weird, like.
But back to this Pacers one. I don't really want to talk much about the Thunder because the Wolves just like they didn't make it fun for me to watch. So, but I just really want to get on this Pacers Knicks series because I just want to, the few people that do watch this show, and I like to call myself out on things when I make takes and things, or I'm so sure about things, and then people just prove me wrong. So I'm sorry, Cat is not a good defender. He's not average. He sucks.
There we go. Right? Come on over, man. So, I tried to tell you.
I just can't. This series I don't like watching him play. I tried to hold on to it, but watching this series is just I don't like watching him play. Like I don't know what made me because I think he's good. I just don't like watching him play.
You watch and you like he's not really doing nothing, and then you look and you like he had 30 and 12. What the fuck? What he had 30 and 12 with 5 assists and 5 fouls. You like how is he doing this? I really don't
like when he just got the ball and he dribbles and he takes his 1-2 to the hole. It's just like,
but it worked. Specifically against the Pacers and Miles Turner, he was killing Miles Turner on the drive. Like it's sad.
Yeah, he was.
But
good thing he ain't got a face cut. But
is it shit on the Knicks time? Are we done bigging up the Pacers?
Because
I got a lot about the Knicks that
Josh Hart can't score.
Yeah,
everybody on their team obviously don't know how to play defense. They just foul.
Yeah.
The bench is
except OG.
Right, except OG.
And Mikal is up there too.
Yeah, but okay, Mikal should have just fouled. He played like he damn fouled out.
170 pounds though. That's the problem.
The way he played in this series, he should have fouled out. Yeah. So, like I just don't understand. Cat, damn near Brunson. They played better without him on the floor. Like, so should we go on? Like, the only reason why they stayed in the game is because the Knicks I said the Knicks. The Pacers literally let them in some. They should have lost Game 5. Let's start there. They was down 20 or some shit. If that's the game I'm thinking about,
Nah, game
they.
5 they was up the whole game. You thinking of
You sure about
game?
that? What
Yeah,
game am I thinking of?
game 3. I think game 3. Because
And then
that's they had like a 16-point comeback in like the fourth quarter.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the game. You
that's
thinking of game
that's
3?
the one in
That's the
yeah.
one Cat went crazy, right?
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a and it just dawned on me when Tibbs got fired. I was like, should have Tibbs got fired? I don't know. I really just thought I think it really just depends on who you are as a basketball person and if you really as a fan or a basketball person because it ain't like he sucked with them, but I think he did. It did as best as he could with the team that he got. I guess.
Nah,
Is that what you
I don't think
know?
so. So
Do you think he could have used the bench more?
I'll start with Tibbs. Okay, so it's so funny. I seen this clip the day that Tibbs got fired. It's Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague played with the TimberWolves when Tibbs was the head coach.
Right.
And he basically said, he was like, Tibbs don't coach. He was like, we watch film, he don't say nothing but, damn. Damn. You miss somebody on the cut and he just says, damn.
That because his offense is, I got a star ball handler and everybody else play off of him.
But Teagues basically said that Tibbs lets the players play. So you basically just going out there and hooping. And once I heard that,
that's not how you.
It made so much sense of like how the Knicks games went a lot of the time, and the fact like with Brunson, there was a specific. I think I brought it up last time we did the pod where there was a Knicks game, or maybe we didn't. There was a Knicks game where Brunson came down like 3 possessions in a row
and just pulled that bitch
and dribbled out the clock, went to the right side of the court, dribbled the clock out, headbutted the nigga, and just threw up a bad shot because that's his move. I love people breaking down Brunson's game. He's like, he's physical, he puts his body on you, and he uses his strength and leans on. He out there headbutting niggas in the chest. Let's be honest. That's what he's doing. He's not that fast. He's not big. But what he's doing is he's getting to that right side. He's getting you on his left shoulder. He headbutting you, and he throwing a shot up. That's what he's doing every time. But I digress. He did that shit like 3 or 4 times in a row, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
He missed one. Josh Hart got the rebound, took it back to the top of the key, looked to Brunson is wide open in the corner. He looks over to Brunson. He goes, nah. Throws it the whole other way, but he literally looks for a second and looks the other way. Throws it to I think Mikal, and Mikal does his weird little. Instead of lay it up, I'm a lean, do a fadeaway 5 feet from the goal, and just toss it up from behind my head. And he did one of those, and I was like, they don't like this shit. The rest of the players don't like this shit, and there's nobody making them run a real play. Tibbs ain't making them run plays. Like when you see Halliburton come down, you'll see Rick Carlisle on the sideline calling the play. Hey 1-3. Okay, hey. Yeah. Then you see Halliburton.
Tibbs just
everybody set up.
Tibbs just out there with his hands crossed, standing up like, what y'all got for me?
As long as y'all play defense, I'm happy. That's it.
But you can tell.
And they're not doing anything. There's not a thing that the Knicks do. Like if you think about when you're watching what they do, like when you watch the Pacers, what do you imagine? You imagine somebody setting a screen, an off-ball screen, while Halliburton is doing something. Yeah, you just imagine people cutting and setting screens and getting open and people passing the ball around. When you think about the Knicks, you think about Brunson headbutting somebody in the stomach. I just think shooting a 3. I guess like they don't have nothing that they do. So I think Tibbs being fired makes perfect sense. Like people being like, oh. They had the greatest season that they've had in 50 years.
Which is also true.
But they lost to a team they should have beat. On paper, they should have beat the Pacers.
I'm not a big fan of just running. If you know it's a long season and you know the system don't work, why are you running your star players to the ground?
True. But even in that, Miles Turner could not stop Cat.
No.
Yeah,
but
Cat took maybe half
stopped
the
himself.
shot. Well, that too.
But
But Cat took maybe half the shots of Brunson in this series. Like, why? How does that make sense? Every time the first game when he did that shit in the corner, where he basically like did a fadeaway out the corner on Miles Turner, I was like, oh shit! And it was at the end of the game. He did some shit like he did that to him like 4 or 5 times that game, where he's just like he's like, this man can't hold me, and then he would go. In one of the games, I think it was the comeback game in the first game, he went the whole fourth quarter without taking a shot.
Yeah.
But
the thing about it is,
6, when they was losing, he went the whole fourth quarter without taking a shot.
And this is how you know if my star player is a team first player, a real point guard, or if he's all by himself. If my coach don't really coach and we running off of like just players playing, I should know everybody's running off of me, right?
Yeah.
If I got even when I go play pickup, if I see my big man, which is usually one of my brothers, and a dude that can't hold him, and I know I can score, I don't give a fuck. I'm literally passing the ball to my brother like, hey, bro, cook his ass,
get off
ass. Like, it saves me energy. So then in the fourth quarter when y'all really need me, or when you foul out,
yeah,
I'm good to go. Like, I'm gonna get my shots here and there through the flow of the game, but bro, just go cook. Like, if we know Cat is a defensive issue and he has foul trouble, we should probably get him going early in the game. So then when that defensive issue comes in and he got to sit on the bench, we're up and we good.
Or at a minimum, or at least he's hot by then.
Right.
So it's the trade-off of, hey, don't even worry about playing defense. You good. Just keep cooking. Like, we just need you to score. So it's cool if they come down, score on you on the other end. That's fine. Just reserve your energy and come down here and cook because you hot. We got you started up.
Bro, just stand there and put your arms up at this point.
That's
and you
what
holding Miles Turner.
He ain't doing shit.
Like he's going to get you 12 to 15. That's it.
But the problem is they putting you in switches. They putting Cat in switches and trying to get him out on Halliburton, which was,
slide your feet and put your hand up. Slide your feet, put your hand up. Like, I don't know that's what.
But he can't. He's always reaching. He's always grabbing. That's his problem. Put your arms up. Get your arms
some of
back.
It is stupid ass fouls.
I didn't play organized basketball. Is it something? What part of what they teach you on defense? I might not have played organized basketball, but I've been around organized basketball. Right?
I played it. What's the question?
They teach you early, fundamentally, to play defense not with your hands out.
Right.
With your hands out, like toward more into your body. They don't teach you to play.
They not out like front of you.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, you're not taught. You're taught to keep like your hands in your space, not out. Cat hands are constantly out in front of him, reaching.
Yeah,
and I think it's just like a fundamental thing. Like it's a. But
there's a thin line because obviously your hands ain't out the whole time.
Of course.
And shit like that. So obviously you can use it something like if they put their body on you, you can put your hand on their hip and things like that. But I mean, damn, bro, you scared to use your chest? You 7 foot tall. Like they put their chest in. If they put their shoulder in your chest, you should be okay.
But it's not even that. I'm more so thinking about like when you get switched on a guard and they drive not right into you, but like past you, and you got to turn a little bit. He's constantly reaching.
Yeah, he's reaching and
grabbing and putting his hands out when, like you said, hey,
he needs
move
to
your
learn,
feet. Keep your hands up, move your feet.
Really, what he needs to learn is what I learned really because I was a smaller guard, but I had good defense, but I was smaller. But I knew I could jump, so I would play defense. But if I knew I was beat, I would just set up for the layup being paid. So then sometimes it don't work, but you get the block coming from behind.
Yeah. Or that,
and if I miss, I miss. But he's 7
your
foot
feet
tall
too.
Or it's also being a smart defender.
Yeah,
if you beat, you gotta notice you beat.
I gotta get in position.
You gotta get in position for the block. And if you 7 foot and you playing against a guard, you got a good chance for that.
But the problem is if your hands are down towards the ball, towards the guy who's 7 inches shorter than you, and trying to get into his body with your hands instead of moving your feet and trying to get to a spot where you can actually contest the ball, yeah, that's a problem.
I'm saying contested not from in front. I'm saying contested. You're beat, so you're always going to contest it from behind.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Is like if you get beat, you still gotta move your feet and keep your hands up to get said block from behind. But if you going around me and I'm down trying to reach for your jersey or touching on your jersey somewhere while you going past me getting ready to put the ball up, you smaller and faster than me. If my hands are already down, reaching for you, grabbing, and reaching out to people, I can't get back up fast enough.
And sometimes it's knowing your personnel as well. Like,
true.
Is this guy even gonna finish at the goal if he feel me on his back or some shit like that?
True.
No, yeah. So it's just like
McConnell versus Nembhard. If Nembhard beats you off the dribble, he going straight for the rim no matter what the fuck is happening.
Right.
McConnell might stop, go around, come back out. Yeah.
Right. McConnell's probably going to stop or look for a quick pass. And he's just going to run his ass over.
Especially if he going straight to the rim. He behind you.
He's smart. He's a smart player. So, which is segue before we keep talking about the Knicks. That McConnell-Caruso matchup going to be very interesting.
They're not even going to see each other. That's the funny part. They're not even going to waste Caruso ever checking McConnell, ever.
I just want to see it when they on a switch or something like that. Yes, because they two short white guys. If everybody want to know, is that the reason? Yeah,
yes.
And I feel like they both are scrappy, so I really want to see it.
Fucking scrappy feels like some racist shit. Like if there was reverse racism, calling a white basketball player scrappy is it. Like,
I mean, they just passed a law in the Supreme Court of reverse discrimination, so I guess there is a thing. I don't know how you reverse discrimination, but they did just pass a 9-0 Supreme Court law, reverse discrimination. You can sue for it now.
Isn't discrimination just discrimination? There can't
exactly.
Be a reverse.
How you reverse of it?
Yeah, what the fuck? But yeah, if there was some type of racist shit, that's it. Because you were saying scrappy as I was forming the words to say they both scrappy, which is fucking hilarious. Which is just like a white guy dog whistle. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when, like for dumb players, where they just say they're very athletic. It's like, well, wait. I mean,
I think we get scrappy because the cartoon, the Scrappy, the cartoon that was small, and the dog that he was with was bigger, but Scrappy was like the fighter, and he always wanted to fight or something. I think that's where we get that from.
That shit is so funny. But yeah, like that'd be funny, man. Before we get off the Knicks, y'all got, to me, I think the other thing, we've talked about this too. Also, again, like you were saying, I think you didn't really get all the way into it. Like 9 it beats 5. If I got 9 guys I can trust, it's going to be 5 every time. That's partially why this matchup tonight is going to be really good, because we both got 9 guys we can go to. Like, it doesn't matter what lineups we put out here. Landry Shamet. This is a testament to Tibbs. McBride is okay. Was okay.
He's decent.
He's 6 foot though. Right.
He looks smaller on fucking TV.
That's what I'm saying. He's listed at 6'1". That's why I called him 6 foot. He's 6 foot. Then you got Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet is like, he might as well change his name to Landry 1-for-4 Shamet. Because he been 1-for-4 his whole career. Like every box score you look at is Landry Shamet is 1-for-4. Like that shit is crazy, and that's all he does. And he doesn't really play defense. He played who did he play for before? The Clippers.
It sounds like a good like cleaning thing, like that.
Come use like this Landry Shamet to clean,
or like it sounds like a laundry mat.
Landry Shamet. But he campaign Philly. He's played for 7 teams in 7 years.
Isn't he from? Is he from here?
I don't think so.
I thought he was from here for some reason.
But now it's like you got Landry Shamet out there who's a 0 on defense. You have McBride out there who's a 0 on defense. You have Mitchell Robinson who's a 0 on offense. Like the team is constructed poorly around the 5, and the 5 guys are getting paid so much that, like, what do you do? Now, the problem is if you build around Brunson, the knock I have obviously on Brunson is he's so small, he doesn't play defense. We've seen guards average 30. Damian Lillard was averaging 30. He's 6'1". And, like, you can't win like that unless the 6-foot guy that you have is scary. That makes sense?
Like
AI. Curry is, like, scary. Nobody's scared of Brunson. Like,
not really.
It's just not a thing. Like, offensively, what he does is not a scary thing. Like, where we're like, we don't know what to do.
He get buckets because he shoots a lot.
Yeah.
There's a difference between the guy that gets buckets and the guy that gets buckets because
Landry
he shoots a
Shamet
lot.
is from KC Mo, by the way. Just wanted to point
that
out.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I
was like, is he from here?
He is, yeah. That's crazy.
Sorry, Landry, if you're watching. Doubt it, but shout out any dude from Kansas City that I know him that's watching. Sorry, but we don't mean to bag your guy, but that's I think the least talked about basketball player from Kansas City. So like, not one post that I had on any social media went by and like, let's wish Landry Shamet a good luck from Kansas City Mo. Like nobody did that. Like, and we do it a lot typically.
I still stand by my nickname. So, hey. Every time I see this nigga on the box score, we shot 1 for 4 in this motherfucker. Hey, but yeah, shout out to Landry Shamet being from the town. That's crazy.
I still didn't pick it up, but shout out to the town guy. Good job for making it that far and actually getting some clock. You farther than I ever been.
Yeah.
So,
that doesn't take. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, right. But still,
that doesn't take away. Nah. But that's not enough. He's 6'3". That's the other part. I can't trade out my 6'1" guard who's taking 50 shots for a guy who's 6'3". I need more defenders.
No, it's not really a hot take, but hot take. Jalen Brunson might be the worst guard Tibbs ever coached. He takes some real good guards. He's probably the worst one.
Jeff Teague.
I'm talking star guard, like between Ant, Jalen, D Rose. Who else is Tibbs coached?
It's got to be some more shit in there.
You was scared of D Rose.
Yes.
People. I mean, I don't think you was scared of Ant when. Well, Ant wasn't there when Tibbs was there. It was who was the guard then?
Jimmy Butler,
it probably was
Mike
Tibbs.
Conley.
It was Butler, but Butler was the star guy. But that's when Minnesota was, but that because they star guy was defensive eccentric though. You know what I'm saying? So Jimmy ran himself out of there. He didn't want to be with Cat. Like it's the reason why, and now we see why he didn't want to be with Cat.
Yep.
Like we kind of see why he didn't want to be with. When he said Cat was soft.
Yeah, he meant it.
Yeah,
we didn't realize it back then what he meant, but. Now,
because Cat was young, we was like, he's gonna grow into it. He's just a young player. Nah, Jimmy was really real about that.
There's some shit going on. There's something going on.
So yeah, but shit, I would take Jimmy over Brunson in this. Jimmy's prime over Brunson any day.
Yeah, because he can affect the game more.
I'm saying. Right. I would say even
6'1", you have to affect offense so much that you are scary. He's not scary.
D Rose is what, 6'3"?
Yeah.
6'2"?
6'3", yeah, for sure. Like
so that means he was about 6. He don't look that big.
D Rose was bigger than you think.
Not bigger, taller, I guess, because big. He wasn't big. He was just.
He was pretty big. 6'3", 200 pounds. That's Russell Westbrook. You wouldn't say Russ is small. They like the same size. Russ might got 10 pounds on him.
I don't know why. I think
you just don't
Westbrook
think of him that way.
Wider. I feel like he's just wider. If you know what I mean, like his shoulders are broad and
he's more muscular. That's what I mean. He probably has 10 pounds on D Rose. Most likely, I would imagine. But it's like it's the same build. But it's. You gotta, he's scary as fuck. D Rose was super scary, bro. Like
I wanted, I wanted to be a Brunson fan, but I don't. I just think I don't like watching the Knicks under Tibbs, I guess, play because it's just I don't like watching Cat play just as a player. Brunson's play game doesn't excite me. Josh Hart can't shoot.
He does everything but score well.
Score right. And it's just like you get
he's really the point guard. That's the reality. Like every team that has a guard like Brunson, Curry, like these Kyrie, like LeBron was the point guard for the Cavs when Kyrie was there. Or Draymond is the point guard.
Draymond, right. It's like the small forward or the point guard is more of your if your point guard is score heavy, then your small forward is usually your point guard.
But look at the Nuggets. Jokic is the point guard. And like the real he's the real one. Right. Like he's really running the shit. Yeah. And then Jamal Murray is kind of running around being a two guard. Yeah, you're a scoring guard.
Well, if, at that point,
it's somebody else. Somebody else. One of the bigs, a bigger guy usually ends up being that. Yeah, but you're
other than the Pacers. Yeah, I mean, because I tried to. Cunningham is the point. I mean, would you say what would Cade Cunningham be? But is he pass first or he's just like right in the middle? Because he can get a bucket. There's some games where he just say, fuck it, I'm getting a bucket. And there's some games be like, I'll pass the ball.
I think he's like, the in between. He's like LeBron, kind of. Yeah. Or like Luka.
But that's because
because
he's 6'7", 6'8",
he's just tall, yeah.
He's just tall. So that's why he's like, and he's not Magic because I feel like he get a bucket more than Magic got a bucket.
He definitely
but Magic
got a way crazier bag outside of passing than Magic had.
So
he hitting people on post fadeaways. I seen that shit. I was like,
no, Kate really
at 21.
Hot take. Watch out for the Pistons next year.
Yeah, if Cade takes any step up, he gonna be scary. That shit gonna be scary because he can do everything already. But okay, let's go. But yeah, like if you're I just wanted to see the Knicks. That's why I'm not mad at Tibbs being fired. I would love to see the Knicks, what that looks like with Josh Hart at the top of the key, making the decision, and like them running off ball actions.
I feel like Brunson's gonna have to shoot better then.
Yeah, I mean he's not bad.
And maybe I don't know his percentage in the regular season, but the playoffs, he was especially close in.
But he doesn't even have to shoot better though, because you can set him, you can put him on little curls where he's getting to the rim when you passing him the ball, and he can stop.
Yeah, but
back. That's what he's doing anyways.
He's at the free throw line a lot because it's off. The ball's in his hand and he's driving. He's creating contact.
True.
What is he gonna do when he has to be a slasher type player?
Yeah.
Maybe go back to Villanova type days. I can't remember him back in the Villanova days. So I watched them, and they was a real good team. But that's why I'm saying, like, tap into your Villanova days when y'all was actually a ball movement team. Because that team literally was good. Like, the reason why they won 2 years in a row is because, was it 2? 2 years in a row because they had chemistry and everybody was moving the ball. Even if it just one, I remember that Villanova team. Like, it was a good team. It's the reason why 4 or 5 of them in the league right
now. They just won 1. They might have went to 2. Maybe they went to 2.
They went something like that. I know they was a real good team. So,
DiVincenzo won in 20. Maybe some of them were there for 1, and some of them weren't. They won in 16 and 18. And I think some of them were there for it, and some of them weren't. Yeah, like Josh Hart wasn't on the 18 team. But Brunson...
he was already in the league by then, though.
Yeah, so Brunson, DiVincenzo, Mikal Bridges was on the 18 team.
Hart must have been on 16, 17.
Yeah, Hart wasn't on the 18 team, and then Mikal Bridges wasn't on the 16 team. That's what it looks like.
So Hart was on 16, and then everybody else came 17.
Yeah.
And then Hart wasn't there for 18.
Yep.
That was hey.
No, I guess they were So no, they were all there for 16, and Josh Hart just wasn't there for the 18. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
So yeah, that was. See,
they had Eric.
All the starters for the Knicks. Yeah,
that's crazy.
No, look.
No, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 more guys that were in the league on that 16 team. Besides the Knicks players. Yeah.
Who else was it?
Eric, I don't even know how to say his name. Eric Pascal.
Oh,
he played for the Warriors for a few years.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Ryan. Oh, I don't know how the fuck to say his nigga name. Archie Diacono, he played for like a couple years in the league, like 2 years.
So basically, that whole team was in the league.
Daniel Ochefu played in the league for like 2-3 years. Chris Jenkins, I think, is maybe still in the league or just ended.
So basically, that whole team's in the league. Is what you're trying to say?
Oh no, he didn't even make it to the league. Why do I know his name then? Oh no, he played in the G League. Okay, that's why.
I'm gonna say because you watch basketball.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So you had fucking 8 people that was league bound on one team.
But the only reason why you can have 8 people that was league bound is because what? Y'all played team basketball.
True.
So and the thing about Jalen,
yeah.
Right, and then the thing about Jalen
ask Rutgers how that works.
Right, but but the thing about Jalen is when you play with Luka, you didn't play like this.
But he did.
I think.
But he did.
He was high usage in that one. But yeah.
That's because nobody was left.
Right.
They didn't have a choice but to go to him.
I don't know. I just feel like he can do not be a slasher, but be more of a shooting guard.
Be off ball, yeah. That's what I think. I think he can. I think is it going to be 30? Are you going to average 30?
Like 21 to 22, something like that?
I think even it could be I think him averaging 24, 25 and averaging 9 to 10 assists makes them a better team instantly. And half of that being
but
off
are
the
you
ball,
okay? But you ask him to do 24 and 9,
yeah,
he's gonna have to learn to do that with the ball in his hand,
here and there.
I'm not asking my shooting guard to do 24 and 9.
He already averages 7. He's already averaging 7 assists on what?
How about
25 shots a night?
Become a more effective shooter, and if that's the case, then some of your shots you're gonna have to become a more effective shooter, and some of your shots are gonna have to become passes now.
Yeah, that's we can't have what I'm saying. Yeah,
we can't have you shoot 25 times a night. Like that's not what this offense is about to be.
Yeah, and that's my thing is like get the ball out of your hands, and because if you just think about the numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 12-minute quarters. The shot clock is 24. A lot of teams shoot it within the first 14 seconds, so it's really 15 seconds per possession. So it's what? You're getting roughly 45
4 shots in a minute. Basically.
But that's what I mean. You're getting roughly 45 or so possessions per quarter. If you're taking 20 shots, that means you know what I mean. Like you start thinking about the math of it. So
and we're not even thinking about the turnovers.
No, exactly. If you split these possessions in half and say every team averages 10 turnovers, so now we're going from 45 to 20. 35. So now we're taking 10 away. So now we're at 15 shots per game per quarter. And it's probably less than that. You know what I mean? So we talking about you getting a shot or 2 every minute, and then you taking half of them. You taking 20. So, you see what I mean? Like you're taking one. Like it has to be more efficient. Once you,
you can look up the box scores where it say Jalen Brunson 22 shots, and the next closest person probably got what? Maybe 13. 14?
Yeah, 13, 14. Maybe Cat has 18 because he's hot that game. Maybe he has 20 or something because he's having a good game. But that's the problem is that if you're taking 30 and he taking 20, nobody else is taking shots now. Now we're all disengaged from the offensive game.
And now we only way we getting our points is off rebounds or
pushing the ball, random shit.
And we gotta think about it when everybody else got to do the dirty work because y'all just want to sit there and shoot and shit.
And y'all won't even run the one play we practice that I can get a bucket on. It's shit like that. It's simple shit like that. Like, we in practice every day with each other. We all know this dude got at least
are they running
one
plays
play.
in practice? We already just learned Tibbs ain't doing that. What are they doing in practice?
And that goes back to the Tibbs thing. Like, are y'all?
Yeah,
do we know that? Do we know that there's a play we can go to OG for? But we do. We do, because we seen it. We seen OG.
I
they
think
run
that
the
was just
same
OG
shit.
getting a bucket.
That's true.
It was like,
but Mikal
OG
Bridges,
just
pick
get a
and
bucket.
roll. Hey, come set a screen.
At this point, is pick and roll really a play call? Or it's just like, hey, give them the ball and let them pick and roll off each other.
But it's so but see, and this is
it's simple. It's the simplest play call.
Yeah,
I get it.
Basketball is that simple.
Well,
though.
I just said it just like,
come set me a screen. I'm gonna drive to the basket and do a little fadeaway, throw the ball up from behind my head. That's my favorite play. Let me run it like 4 times a game. Got once a quarter. God damn.
But then you got to think about rotation and who is my pick and roll guy.
Yeah, so you have to be smart about it.
If that's really the thing, and Tibbs really not coaching, I think they could be 10 times better just with a coach, like a regular coach that comes in and be like, "Hey, guess what? You're not shooting 30 times. Yeah. We're going to actually play basketball this year."
Bro, think about how many times with the Knicks you've seen Cat post somebody up, score immediately, fade away, drop step straight to the rim, do something, and then just never do it again. That's somebody not coaching. That's somebody on the next possession being like, hey, do that one more time. Run it again. Run it until that shit don't work. I just watched.
That's exactly what I would say.
I'm doing a little project on some shit about Kobe and the Lakers and shit. And I watched a full game, broke it down, wrote notes for the whole game for the when Kobe airballed four times in the playoffs and lost the game against the Jazz, right? When I tell you every fucking possession is bring the ball up, Shaq post up, hand up, all right, somebody dump it off to him, and then Shaq make a decision. Either he gonna force it and try to get a bucket or throw the ball out. And then on the other side, you had Karl Malone. They was running plays off Karl Malone in the post. You
know why? Because that's... Sorry, Kobe, RIP, and all Kobe fans who said it. That because that was the best player.
No, hold on. You missed my point. My point was... It's something as simple as, like, there was a difference between what they was doing with Shaq. With Shaq, they wasn't doing nothing. It was just like, just give it to Shaq. On the other side with Karl Malone, they would have Karl Malone post up, and then they would take Jeff Hornacek and have him screen for John Stockton, and John Stockton would just, like, cut to the basket, and he'd just dump it off to him behind the, just literally dump the ball up like Jokic does. Just dump it off, and, quick cut, score. And then you just see that, and I just think about the Knicks and realize, like, that's something that Cat and Brunson could do easily. Yeah. They don't do shit like that. They don't do nothing like that. They never run. They don't run any shit like that. It's just like, get the ball and do something. Like, God damn.
I just don't understand how big man can really watch the Joker and be like, I can't. I don't want to do that. Like, why not? You're 7 foot tall. It's easy for you. Like, why can't you do that? Like, why do y'all want to be a guard so much? And Joker is literally giving y'all a blueprint on how to take over the fucking game at 7 foot tall.
You want to know something I thought about?
And he ain't got a bag like that.
I think the next evolution of what that is, and I hope maybe like Wemby could do it, but I doubt it, right? I think the next version of that is they're going to be posting up like on the wing. I mean, Jokic kind of does it now, like high post, but you basically at the 3-point line.
Yeah, and just like, and then back to the goal, or sometimes this nigga back people down from the 3-point line.
I think that's gonna be the next evolution. I think somebody like Wemby who can shoot is gonna start backing people at the 3-point line, and then now I can face you up. I'm quick enough and I have a good dribble. I can spin off you and get all the way to the rim.
But if you logically think about it, if I'm backing you down from the 3-point line and my guard that's in the corner sitting in the corner, and the person defending him sees me beating him, and he tries to help. Quick cut, I'm lobbing it, bounce pass. It's so much shit you can get from it.
That's why I think that's the next evolution. It's like, hey, we're gonna get. It's gonna be a weird version of ISO ball. because that's the best. If you a big and you still want to have the option to shoot threes, all right, we gonna just post you up right here, right inside the 3-point line. If you really want to take the three, now, hey, all right, it's one step back. It's a step back. You're already doing step backs like goofy shit. So what's the difference? This way, I can set up a post play for you to run with everybody else and have spacing.
Or if you really want to shoot threes and if you keep backing the nigga down from that far and they keep scoring from it, guess what they're gonna do? Not come and play you up tight no more. Yeah. And they're going to fall back. And now they got to choose, okay, do we let them shoot the three or do we just keep letting them run this same fucking play where he's backing us down and we got to double team this nigga and then somebody's wide the fuck open?
Yep.
What are we doing here?
And it works for somebody like Chet, right? Somebody that doesn't have the body mass to push you down. The threat of me spinning off you, doing anything, getting off you, and now I'm one dribble from the rim. Think of Giannis. I'm one dribble from the rim.
Right, I spin, dribble once, I take my 1-2,
and my handle is so good. It's not like Shaq out there doing some good. It's not like fucking Mitchell Robinson out there doing the good. Even Cat, it would be good for, because we watched Cat drive to the rim and dominate driving to the rim for this whole series, and they lost, but he was still killing.
Let's start at doing it from the fucking free throw line. True. I'm tired of seeing big men.
But they want the spacing, and that's where I think you can get the spacing and still fundamentally get the same idea. It's just you're gonna have to learn. Motherfuckers gonna have to learn how to fucking.
Yeah, I get you want the spacing, but you're also fucking 7 foot tall, my God. Like I'm just.
Yeah, but the problem is it's everything is drilled into people's heads of space the floor, 3's better than 2. It's like, it is.
That's if you making it.
At 30 and 45. Like, those are the thresholds. Like, if I'm hitting 45 and you hitting 30, I win shooting 2.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get fouled more.
Correct, but it has to be the right people shooting the 3s.
Yeah.
And then for 2s, all we got to do, it could be the shittiest nigga on your NBA team, but as long as it's a good pass and he's cutting and it's wide open, either he can draw a foul or he's going to at least have a better chance at making it, right?
They was calling Brian Russell for the Jazz a 3-point shooter. He averaged for his career 1 make a game. He was 1 for that's his average is 1 for 3, and he was a 3-point shooter.
33%.
Steve Kerr was the same way. I remember I looked that shit up one day. It was like Steve Kerr would have been good in today's NBA. He was a shooter back in the day, and you go look it up, and his average is 1-3 a game on 3 attempts.
Back when the 3 wasn't prominent though.
Yeah, but it's still like, wait, y'all was shooting 33% and you was a shooter?
Yeah, it's called 33% was like high back then.
That's sick.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's called projection. It's just like it's crazy how they like to project. Oh, this guy would have been a real good shooter in today's game if they let him shoot that much, but they hate to project the way as if LeBron was back in the day, he'd average about 35 by the way he plays. They hate projecting downward, but they project upward. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, will Steve Kerr really?
They couldn't
average?
Help.
It's like
I was watching this shit, bro. I was watching that shit for 3 hours today. They can't help. They called illegal defense on Shaq. Think about this. Karl Malone. They pick Karl Malone's man. He drifts to the block. While he's drifting to the block, Shaq's man is at the top of the key. Shaq is at the free throw line, like standing right in the middle of the free throw line. Shaq's man is right at the top of the key. Karl Malone is on the elbow, getting a screen. The other man is going all the way across to the other corner after the screen. Karl Malone is rolling to the basket. Shaq steps down to double Karl Malone. They call illegal defense. Because your man, Shaq's man, Shaq has to be on his man to be able to step down and help like that. So if your man is off to the side and you step away from your man to help and you don't double team, it's illegal defense. So you have to immediately run over and full double team. You can't take a step.
You can't play both sides.
You can't help. You can't pre-rotate to help at all.
Right.
You can't take 2 steps away from your man.
That's a illegal defense. Is that still a call?
No, they ended that shit in like 2002 or something like that. But yeah, like they had illegal
So
defense
basically,
for the whole 90s.
wait. So let the nigga score. Basically,
No, it's like full double team,
double him,
or you get out the way, or unless your man is in the area.
And y'all wait.
So
I'm
they
sorry.
ISO.
Sorry, y'all. I'm not really hip on basketball rules and things like that. But if that's really a thing, does Michael Jordan average fucking 30?
Yeah,
what are we fucking doing,
bro? When they was, I was watching it and they called it, and so I went on like a long tangent of like trying to figure out what the fuck illegal defense was, and I was like, could you imagine Dwayne Wade, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, LeBron James, shit niggas now, Anthony Edwards, Shea. If you can't help, I can't step up away from my man at all unless he's in the play, unless I'm involved in the play, or unless like it's certain things of like you got to be above the free throw line, and then when you come, you have to fully commit. So I can't preload the box like what they would do with Giannis or LeBron back in the day, where it's like,
it's
hey,
just like I'm just gonna sit here.
You got everybody spreading the corner, but we all got a foot in the paint. That you couldn't do that. So what they would do to triangle offense, what they did back in the 90s, just literally move everybody to one side of the court. They can't help. If they do help, they got to help before I cut or when I get to the paint. And they talk about, hey, who you couldn't play. They couldn't play. What? Are you crazy? You can't help? Giannis is one-on-one at the elbow and nobody can help. Nobody can stand and show a body like I'm here. I gotta be on the other side of the paint with like attached to my man.
I'm mad that it ain't more niggas that averaged 30 back then.
That's what I keep looking at. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, bro, what was y'all doing?
How was y'all hoopers not really hooping if that's a rule?
They was just standing around, and you had one star on every team, and everybody else was just
ain't no fucking way
around.
That's a rule, and I'm standing around, bro. I'm like, bro, you got 25? Cool. I'm about to drop 20. Give me the ball. What are we doing
ISO
here?
Me too, yeah.
Right, like what?
It's crazy, bro.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
When you watch it, it's sick, bro. I'm about to do like a series of videos with some of these 90s games or for Kobe games, and that shit gonna be hilarious. But yeah. But imagine that shit. But let's do a quick little breakdown before we get out of here, before these games come on. Predictions for tonight's game that comes on in 5 minutes now.
OKC wins by... I ain't gonna say by anything. OKC wins game 1. I think it's always a tester game, but I can't just see Indiana going into OKC where it's gonna be loud and hectic in the finals. I can't see them going in.
But this is what everybody's thought for the Pacers for every series, and they whooped everybody.
Yeah, I know, but this is gonna be this is gonna be the toughest matchup for them, to be perfectly honest. Like, this is a real dirty, everybody from 1 to 9 plays defense and knows how to play defense. And y'all better play defense back or y'all gonna lose. Y'all gonna be down 20.
You could say that about the Thunder too, though. This would be their toughest matchup. Maybe the Nuggets, but the Nuggets have 5 people.
I don't think it'd be I don't think it'd be their toughest. I think it'd be the most challenging, only because the teams that they played in the West were more one player. This is our star player. As long as we get him stopped, then we good. This star player is different.
Yeah.
So it'll be different for them.
So
but when you got real good defense, you will be able to stop.
Do you think that's the Thunder's greatest strength? Because that's what I was going to ask you. What do you think the Thunder's best strength is?
The defense.
Okay.
And the most people say about, I think it's their bench and the defense.
And then, so to me though, the Thunder are not like a man up, heads up defensive team. They play great team defense. They jump on balls.
Real good. They jump on balls. They're handsy.
And I think that's the one thing. That's why I think might surprise people. I still think the Thunder win the series. I think this goes 6 or 7 at minimum. Like I think this. I think this is going to go 7. Just because I think the one thing that the West teams, like you were saying, they're one player star driven. Yeah. And so a lot of that is like very predictable. Like the sets they run and the passes they make are predictable passes. Or you're making dumb passes because it's the grenade situation. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Okay, Julius Randle couldn't make a play, so now he's just going to throw the ball over the court. Oops. Alex Caruso tips it, runs full court, throws it to Lou Dort, they dunk. I think you're not going to get that with the Pacers. I don't think you're going to get a lot of those tip balls, steals over and over again, transition steals and running, because they're going to run right back too.
Right, but it's also weird because this is a lot of everybody's except 2 people's first final.
True. That's So who's going to get a little nervous?
So who? Nervous. The thing like that, friends. So that's why I'm so happy about that. That's why I was happy about this whole Final Four with everybody, because it was new teams finally.
Yes.
I'm tired of talking about. I was tired of talking about the same motherfuckers. Boy. So I'm glad, but a lot of people think I'm crazy when I say I'm really excited for this series. I've been waiting for this series because I really thought it's gonna be a good series. Like just like I said, when the Knicks is gonna be good, Knicks Pacers. I think this is gonna be a real good series. Real basketball is back.
Yeah.
And Miles Turner said it after they won the Eastern Conference Final. He said, "I think the super team shit is dead. Like you need everybody to win, a full team." And I think after seeing this, we about to start seeing a lot of shifts in the NBA with this super team shit.
I've been talking about it. Like the salary cap doesn't allow for it. If you have two max players, it's over with. That's it.
Yeah.
The max is almost $70 million. The cap only $220. You got 2 guys taking 30% of the salary cap. That shit not gonna last. So these teams, the best, and there's so much talent that you're gonna have imbalanced teams like we had in the playoffs just now. Like the Knicks have 5 guys that are all getting paid 30-40 million a piece, and then you have the Pacers, and we got 9 guys getting paid 15 million.
But also, we in the era where people want to get paid. So, are these 2 teams players that are bench players willing to continue to be their role players that they are, or are they gonna go somewhere to try to get more money, bigger roles?
I think the problem is that the mid-level players are so good right now. It's going to be hard to tell what's the difference between is Siakam, is Mikal Bridges better than Siakam?
I would personally probably take Siakam over Bridges.
But I have a feeling one's making a lot more money. I have a feeling Mikal Bridges is making
Siakam also was the second leading scorer on a finals team years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago. This is his second finals.
So Mikal making 25. Siakam
is probably making he should be making around 30.
The same. 45. Okay, so never mind.
He said, I'm about to say Siakam ain't making 25. I'll tell you that right now. Like,
okay, that makes more sense though.
One
got signed in 2022 also. So one got signed 3-4 years ago. One guy got signed last year. So that's a big difference. I'm trying to think of a good, but like, are the guys in that mid tier we're not all-stars, and you're not the alternative like you're out of the all-star talk. Those guys making 30 and 40 still. Like Siakam is making 40, and he wasn't necessarily like all-star level. Those guys,
he was all-star level, and he was a finals.
Yeah, 5 years ago. I'm talking about the past couple years. Here's like, are those guys in the middle that are like friends that are really good, not quite all-star? Like, what's the difference?
So like Naismith and fucking. Naismith and Bridges or something like that?
Or like Drew Holiday versus Hartenstein.
Yeah.
What's the
Drew
difference
Holiday
between
is overpaid.
You see what I mean? Like that's kind of what I mean.
Yeah, Drew Holiday is overpaid. He's just getting, and then we gotta stop paying these NBA players. Got to understand we can't pay you because of your name.
Yeah.
Or what you did in the past. Because a lot of these salaries is what you did in the past and your name. You're not we can't pay you like that. Like you can come get what we get, and then there you go. Like, I mean, I'm not saying just because you don't,
Perfect.
just
Here's a
because you was,
go ahead.
I would say just because you were starter don't mean I got to pay you
And
$40 million.
I think that's where we're getting at. I think that's where we're slowly we're getting to. Like, what's the difference? A better example is, would you rather have Siakam or Michael Porter Jr. because they're making the same money?
Definitely Siakam.
And so that's where you start getting like, okay, where does would you rather have Mikal Bridges or Michael Porter Jr.? And that's where you start being like, it's kind of like the same, but then one's getting paid a lot less. And so that's where, or like Drew, would you rather have Drew Holiday or Michael Porter Jr.? Would you rather, you know what I mean? And now then you throw in like Christian Braun. Would you rather have Christian Braun at $5 million or Neesmith at $12 million?
Right, and then
You start
right,
being like,
and then
like if I get I pay half the money and get Christian Braun, or keep Neesmith for double the money. It's like, well, are they that different? And so that's where the conversation.
it depends on what you value more. Because I think Neesmith is a better defender.
Yeah,
but he can also get a bucket too.
but then also Christian Braun can also bring the ball up for me and still kind of play enough defense that I don't have to take him out of games late. So then it's like, because he was holding up for the Nuggets on the Thunder, and he was holding Harden in that first round.
Yeah, but we know I will hold Harden in the playoffs.
But
like shit, give me Harden. I know that nigga ain't finna do shit.
But boy, with dribble. But yeah, it's like I think we're getting there where the mid-level guys are starting to get so good that now it's getting tough. Like I would rather have 3 or 4 guys making 15, 20 million than one guy making 55.
And I think they need to set the market straight, kind of like how it went out of control with receivers. But then teams was like, "Whoa, no, we're just gonna start letting y'all go and doing reset the market to humble their ass a little bit." Like,
well, you got to think like people the way the shit that they set up the automatic the guaranteed contracts. If you're all defense one time and do this, you make 2 all defensive teams in your rookie contract. They fucked up because people like Jaren Jackson Jr. are due $70 million.
Right.
He's due a max. Like Jaylen Brown. Is Jaylen Brown really a max player because he made all third team 2 years ago, and then you know what I mean, was an all-star
I don't
this
think
year?
just because I mean I guess the all NBA third team is like you top 15?
Yeah, but does that mean you?
But
if you did that 3 years ago, and then now you're up for a contract and you made the all-star team once, like you made an all NBA team one time and the all-star once, and now all of a sudden that means I owe you $70 million. I owe you a third of our cap. Jaren Jackson Jr. is owed a third of my cap because
they're not gonna win if they give him $70 million. Because
he was all defense twice in 5 years.
I promise you, if they give him $70 million, they're cooked into that contract.
No, but see,
tradable.
They have to. That's the problem.
They have to. Somebody else can do it.
Well, yeah, you can let him go. But that's where we get weird. Is like, would you rather have Jaren Jackson Jr. making $60 million or 2 Miles Turners making 24? You know, like I'm gonna take the 2 year. They're not that far off. It's just one guy doesn't have accolades.
That's where this shit's getting weird. If I can get 2 players for the price of one, and that one player is just like,
well, I think that's where we at with the idea of talent gap. It's not really a talent gap anymore. No. It's more like you have awards. Like you have awards. One guy's young, and now all of a sudden, okay, well, I think I'd rather lean towards having 2 young guys that could be good. They're like
that's why OKC's in prime market because they got picks too.
Yeah, and if you're the 9th guy on the bench, you're now winning shit. You're never gonna win any fucking award. But you might if Kason Wallace was playing for the Hornets right now, maybe, or whoever, the Bulls, maybe he averaging 25 and 5. All of a sudden, he was an all-star, making the 3rd team All NBA. Now he all rookie, all NBA, and now all of a sudden he owed $70 million, $60 million 4 years from now. Like, Halliburton was a perfect example. Halliburton didn't get enough to make a max contract. And so now, like, he's going to get paid slightly less probably, and it's all just because he wasn't the guy his first 5 years.
Yeah, they shouldn't put it on awards. They should put it on, is this player worthy enough, like the NFL does. It's like, he might get the max, or he's gonna reset the market or X, Y, and Z. Just like
And shit
because if
happens.
they put
Like the wide receiver market went crazy when what's his
because
name
of
made 20
Christian Kirk.
1 year, but then it's
Christian
kind
Kirk,
of settled back down.
the Jags paid him $22 million a year, and Tyreek Hill. It was the same year we had to sign Tyreek Hill. He was like, "Whoa, Christian Kirk got $22 million.
I need 30.
I need 30."
Yeah.
Like,
and so
if that nigga getting 22, I need 30, which is kind of true because if I was Tyreek Hill with his accolades and what he's done, if Christian Kirk is getting 22. I'm sorry, y'all. I love y'all. I already won my Super Bowl, and as a receiver, all you need is one Super Bowl.
I need to make 30.
I need 30.
Yeah, which is a better system because what happens 2-3 years later, this past 2 or 3 years, we not paying nobody that's a third string, like the third option, $20 million anymore, top dollar.
Right.
So it fixed itself. Unlike the NBA where with the
it's going based on awards and X, Y, and Z. Is just
and that shit's all
especially now that the awards is you got to play certain games. So now certain players can't even get those awards.
And
so now
you got
for
real random dudes winning these awards. Yeah, and now they're like, I need 50. So it's like, wait, Jaren Jackson Jr. needs 70. What the fuck are we supposed to pay Shea when his contract is up? He just won the MVP. What am I supposed to pay him? If Jaren Jackson Jr. making 60, you think his agent's gonna be walking in and be like, yeah, what we need to let's wait a couple years till the max is 80. What does Wemby get 4 years from now? What's the max at 4 years? We already talked about
100.
that too. At some point, it's gonna be $100 million. Now you take half the fucking salary. Oh man, yeah, this is fucked up.
Yeah,
but it's making for fun basketball because look at the two teams that are in the finals right now. The Pacers, fun, deep team, real basketball, like we've been saying. Thunder, deep, real team, playing real basketball outside of Shea flopping. But it's enough. It's fun enough. But yeah, the game just started, so I think it's time to
we gotta wrap that up,
man. And so I guess the game started like a couple minutes ago, but
there we are. It's probably like 12-2 or some shit like that. No,
yeah,
I'm
talking shit. But we will see you guys next time. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and yeah, that's it. Peace. I stole the piece. My bad.
This is just stole the shit.
Yeah, Russian.
I gotta see this shit.